This is the night phase, the part nobody talks about, because it does not scream, it does not explain, and it does not negotiate. It simply surrounds you, quietly, steadily, until you realize that something has changed and there is no way back to how it was before. God does not always speak loudly in this phase, because his silence is no longer absence, it is decision. Archangel Michael remains present, but you will not feel him the way you felt protection before, because protection has shifted from comfort to containment. Understand this carefully. Containment is not punishment, it is control, and control arrives when freedom was misused. The atmosphere around you may feel heavier now, not because darkness increased, but because light has narrowed. Light narrows when focus is required. Wide light comforts, narrow light exposes. This phase exposes what survived warnings, confrontations, and pressure. What remains now is either aligned or resisting, and resistance does not last long in silence. Silence does not argue, it waits, and waiting is terrifying to anything built on distraction. You may notice nights feeling longer, thoughts louder, memories resurfacing without invitation, because the noise you used to escape conviction has been removed. God allows memory to speak when instruction was ignored. Memory reminds you of patterns you promised would not repeat. Archangel Michael stands guard during this exposure, not allowing escape through denial, because denial in this phase becomes destruction. Do not mistake this stillness for peace. Peace has clarity. This stillness has weight. Weight forces honesty. Honesty determines survival. Many people fail here not because they are weak, but because they refuse to look directly at themselves without excuses. Excuses are useless now. Excuses require listeners, and heaven is not listening to them anymore. This is where the soul feels alone, not because God left, but because God removed crutches. Crutches help you walk injured, but they also prevent healing if you never let the wound close. God is allowing you to feel the weight so you stop pretending you are fine. Archangel Michael ensures that the weight does not crush you completely, but he will not lift it for you. Lifting happens only after surrender. Surrender now is not emotional, it is practical. It looks like stopping behaviors you defended, ending conversations you kept alive, and releasing identities that no longer fit. Identity crisis often precedes destiny alignment. You cannot carry old names into new authority. Authority recognizes only what is real. The fear that creeps in during this phase is not fear of God, it is fear of truth without filters. Truth without filters removes the stories you told yourself to survive. Survival stories feel safe until they become prisons. God is breaking the prison now. Prisons feel secure until the door closes. Then security becomes suffocation. This suffocation is not meant to kill you, it is meant to force movement. Movement now is internal before it becomes external. Archangel Michael guards the internal battlefield, ensuring that lies do not masquerade as peace. False peace feels calm but leaves decay underneath. True peace may feel uncomfortable at first because it removes decay aggressively. If you try to escape this phase through entertainment, constant noise, or numbing habits, the darkness will follow you, because darkness thrives where truth is avoided. Avoidance does not delay this phase, it intensifies it. God is patient, but silence is not patience. Silence is final instruction without commentary. The absence of reassurance now is intentional. Reassurance would weaken resolve. Resolve must be built without applause. This is the stage where many people turn back, not because they are forced, but because they miss familiarity more than they want freedom. Familiarity feels safe even when it is destructive. Freedom feels risky because it requires responsibility. Responsibility is unavoidable now. You have crossed a threshold where innocence cannot be claimed. Archangel Michael stands witness to your awareness. Awareness creates obligation, obligation creates decision. Decision creates outcome, outcomes are forming even if you feel stuck. Stillness is not inactivity in the spirit, stillness is alignment taking shape. God is aligning circumstances, relationships, and internal responses quietly. You may sense things falling apart slowly, not dramatically, but steadily, like support dissolving. This dissolution is intentional. God removes unreliable support before it collapses under weight. Collapse would damage you more than removal. Removal feels cruel in the moment, but it saves you later. Archangel Michael ensures that removals happen cleanly, not chaotically, but clean cuts still hurt. Clean cuts heal faster. Ragged wounds linger. Do not reopen wounds by revisiting what was cut. Revisiting will only deepen damage. This phase tests loyalty to truth over comfort. Loyalty to truth often feels lonely, because crowds gather around comfort, not correction. God is not asking you to be dramatic, He is asking you to be honest. Honesty now will shorten this night, resistance will lengthen it. Nights lengthen for those who refuse to sleep and heal. Healing happens in darkness, not daylight. Seeds break underground, not on the surface. Breaking underground feels like burial, but it is preparation. Preparation always feels like loss to the untrained. Archangel Michael guards the burial so nothing else consumes the seed. If you panic during this burial, you may dig yourself out too early and die on the surface. Patience now is survival. Patience does not mean inactivity, it means restraint. Restraint is strength focused inward. God is teaching you restraint because power without restraint destroys its carrier. Many prayers went unanswered earlier because restraint was missing. Answers require containers. Containers are built under pressure. This pressure is building you. Fear whispers that you are being abandoned. Truth declares you are being forged. Forging happens in heat and silence. Noise would crack the metal. Silence strengthens it. Do not curse the silence. Silence is doing work you cannot see. Archangel Michael ensures that the fire does not exceed capacity. It feels intense because capacity is increasing. Capacity growth always feels threatening to old limits. Old limits scream when exceeded. Ignore the scream. Growth hurts old boundaries. God is not returning you to what was comfortable. Comfort would destroy you now. You have outgrown it. Outgrowing something always feels like loss before it feels like relief. Relief comes after acceptance. Acceptance now will transform this night into preparation instead of torment. Torment happens when you fight what is meant to shape you. Shaping always hurts less than breaking. If you resist shaping, breaking will follow. God prefers shaping. Archangel Michael enforces shaping with precision. You may feel watched, measured, and evaluated. That is not paranoia. It is awareness of accountability. Accountability sharpens behavior. Behavior determines future. Future is forming now whether you participate consciously or not. Participation shortens pain. Resistance extends it. The dreams you have in this phase may feel intense, symbolic, or unsettling. Dreams surface what consciousness avoids. God uses dreams when waking hours are too defended. Pay attention without obsession. Discernment matters more than interpretation. Archangel Michael filters what reaches you. Nothing here is random. Randomness belongs to chaos. This is ordered discomfort. Ordered discomfort produces ordered strength. Disorderly comfort produces collapse. Choose ordered discomfort. Nights end eventually, but they end differently depending on posture. Some nights end with sunrise, others end with exhaustion. Exhaustion teaches nothing. Sunrise reveals purpose. You decide which by how you respond now. Do not ask for shortcuts. Shortcuts bypass formation. Formation cannot be bypassed without consequence. God does not reward impatience with authority. Authority comes after endurance. Endurance is built here. This is why this part feels darker than the others. Darkness forces reliance on truth rather than sight. Sight lies in this phase. Feelings lie. Memories distort. Only obedience remains accurate. Archangel Michael protects obedience even when emotions revolt. Trust the protection, not the feeling. Feelings will stabilize later. Stability is coming, but only after honesty is complete. Incomplete honesty leaves cracks. Cracks widen under blessing. Blessing is coming later. Cracks now would destroy it. God is sealing cracks through pressure. Sealing hurts. Sealed vessels hold power. Leaking vessels waste it. Your life cannot afford leaks anymore. Too much depends on what flows through you. This is why heaven is severe now. Severity is respect for impact. People without impact are ignored, not corrected. Correction proves value. You are valued enough to be corrected deeply. Receive that truth even if it feels heavy. Heaviness will lift when alignment completes. Do not rush alignment. Rushing produces fragile outcomes. Fragile outcomes shatter under responsibility. Responsibility is approaching. You will feel it soon. This night prepares you to stand under it without breaking. Archangel Michael remains until the night ends. He does not abandon posts mid-process. God does not abandon projects mid-formation. You are still in formation. When morning comes, you will not recognize yourself fully, and that is intentional. Old identities cannot survive new authority. Authority demands integrity. Integrity is forged here. Endure this phase without drama, without escape, without excuses. Endurance will convert fear into strength. Strength into clarity, clarity into peace, peace into authority, and authority into movement. This is not the end, it is the deepest part of the process. Survive it with obedience, and the next phase will feel unstoppable. Resist it, and you will repeat nights you should have outgrown. Choose wisely in the dark, because choices made here echo louder than those made in light. God is silent now because he is watching response. Archangel Michael stands guard because the outcome matters. Stay aligned, stay honest, stay surrendered, because dawn is coming, but dawn only benefits those who did not betray the night. This is the moment just before dawn, not the soft light of morning yet, but the unmistakable shift where darkness stops deepening and starts losing authority. Nothing announces it, nothing celebrates it, but everything feels different because something irreversible has already taken place. God does not mark this phase with emotion, he marks it with order. Archangel Michael remains present, not standing guard anymore, but standing in confirmation, because what was unstable has now been sealed. Sealing does not feel dramatic, it feels heavy and final, like a door closing quietly behind you, locking you into a direction that cannot be casually reversed. Understand this clearly. The night did not end because you survived it, it ended because alignment was completed. Survival alone does not qualify you for morning, surrender does. Many endure darkness but refuse transformation, and they wake up to repeat the same night again. This time is different because something inside you has shifted from resistance to agreement. Agreement is what gives God permission to move you forward without further negotiation. Archangel Michael recognizes agreement immediately, and when agreement is recognized, enforcement changes into protection. Protection now feels different than before, quieter, steadier, less emotional, because it is no longer reactive, it is established. You will notice that fear no longer dominates your thoughts the way it once did, not because fear disappeared, but because fear lost influence. Influence ends when authority takes its place. Authority does not argue with fear, it outgrows it. God has installed authority in you during the night, not authority over others, but authority over yourself, and that is the most difficult authority to receive. Archangel Michael enforces this authority by stabilizing your inner world, ensuring that impulses no longer control direction and emotions no longer dictate obedience. The dawn phase does not feel exciting at first, it feels sober, because sobriety follows confrontation. You are becoming clear-minded, and clarity always feels quieter than chaos. Chaos demands attention, clarity simply works. God prefers what works. You may feel a strange calm mixed with seriousness, because seriousness is required where responsibility has increased. Responsibility is the sign that heaven trusts you with weight. Weight is not given to the unformed. The pressure you survived formed capacity. And capacity attracts assignment. Assignment is approaching now. Archangel Michael does not announce assignments, he secures the environment for them. This is why circumstances around you will begin to organize themselves subtly. Disorder will lose tolerance. Things that once lingered unresolved will either resolve quickly or disappear. God is no longer allowing long delays in your environment, because delay weakens momentum. Momentum is necessary now. Momentum does not mean speed. It means direction without hesitation. Hesitation has been dealt with. Indecision was burned in the night. What remains is a quieter confidence, not loud, not performative, but grounded. Grounded confidence does not seek validation. It recognizes instruction and moves. You will find that obedience now feels less like sacrifice and more like alignment, because alignment removes friction. Friction made obedience feel painful before. Now pain has been replaced by precision. Precision is not emotional, it is effective. Archangel Michael reinforces precision by keeping distractions ineffective. Distractions may still appear, but they will feel hollow, unsatisfying, and heavy. This is intentional. God removes the reward from distraction so focus becomes natural. Natural focus sustains long-term purpose. Long-term purpose is what you are being prepared for. Short bursts of passion would collapse under what is coming. This phase is about sustainability. Sustainability requires discipline without drama. Drama feeds ego, discipline feeds destiny. Destiny does not need an audience to function. You may notice that your desire to explain yourself is fading. Explanation belongs to insecurity. Authority moves without explanation. God is not making you secretive, He is making you efficient. Efficiency saves energy. Energy is needed ahead. Archangel Michael is conserving your strength by cutting unnecessary emotional expenditure. You will stop reacting to things that once consumed you. Reactions wasted power. Responses preserve it. God has trained you to respond now. Response requires pause, awareness, and trust. Trust was built in the night when you had nothing else to lean on. Trust built in darkness is stronger than trust built in blessing. Blessing trust collapses when blessing fades. Darkness trust remains when conditions change. This is why heaven allowed the night to last as long as it did. Duration was not punishment, it was reinforcement. Reinforcement locks structure. The structure inside you is now strong enough to carry expansion without fracture. Expansion will come quietly at first. Quiet expansion is safer than sudden elevation. Sudden elevation exposes untested areas. God prefers tested ground. You are tested ground now. Archangel Michael recognizes tested ground and allows movement. Movement will begin to feel inevitable, not forced. Opportunities will align with capacity instead of stretching you beyond it. This alignment reduces anxiety. Anxiety existed where capacity and demand were mismatched. Mismatch is over. God has balanced you internally. Balance does not mean ease, it means readiness. Readiness feels calm even when responsibility increases. Responsibility will increase now. You may sense expectations rising around you, people relying on you, decisions carrying more weight. This is confirmation, not pressure. Confirmation that what was forged is now being used. Archangel Michael ensures that increased responsibility does not become overwhelming by maintaining boundaries. Boundaries are non-negotiable now. Where you once compromised to keep peace, you will now keep boundaries to protect purpose. This may confuse some people. Confusion is acceptable. Compromise is not. God is not interested in making you easy to understand. He is interested in making you effective. Effectiveness requires clarity of limits. Clarity may feel firm, even cold, to those accustomed to your flexibility. Flexibility serves survival. Firmness serves mission. Mission requires firmness. The dawn phase introduces a new rhythm. You will feel drawn to consistency, routine, and order. Disorder will irritate you now. Irritation is a signal that tolerance has changed. God raises intolerance for disorder when authority increases. Authority and disorder cannot coexist long. Archangel Michael will enforce this intolerance gently but firmly, prompting you to correct small things quickly. Small corrections prevent large collapses. Collapse is no longer part of your path. God has removed collapse as an option by strengthening foundation. You may still stumble, but you will not collapse. Stumbling teaches, collapse destroys. Teaching continues, destruction has been avoided. This is mercy fulfilled. You will notice that spiritual sensitivity has sharpened. You will sense when something is misaligned before it manifests outwardly. Early sensing allows early correction. Early correction saves years. God is saving you years now. Time redemption is part of this sealing. Archangel Michael is guardian of timing in this phase, ensuring that you do not move too early or too late. Timing errors are costly at higher levels. Precision matters now. Your prayers will change tone. They will become less about rescue and more about guidance. Rescue prayers belong to survival seasons. Guidance prayers belong to leadership seasons. Leadership does not mean title, it means responsibility for outcomes. You are entering responsibility. Responsibility demands sobriety. Sobriety has been given. This is why excitement feels muted. Excitement would destabilize focus. Focus must remain intact. You are being trained to move without hype. Hype attracts attention. Attention attracts pressure. Pressure mismanaged destroys focus. God is teaching you to function without applause. Applause addiction ruins authority. Authority that needs applause becomes manipulation. Manipulation corrupts mission. Mission must remain clean. Archangel Michael is protector of mission purity. He will remove environments that tempt you to perform instead of obey. Performance is exhausting. Obedience is sustainable. Sustainability is essential for what is coming. What is coming is not a moment, it is a stretch. Stretches require endurance, not adrenaline. Endurance was built in the night, dawn simply reveals it. You may feel a deep sense of seriousness about life now. This is not heaviness, it is awareness. Awareness brings gravity. Gravity keeps you grounded. Grounded people carry weight without floating into fantasy. Fantasy collapses under reality. Reality will test you. You are ready for reality now. God has removed the need to escape. Escapism was a coping mechanism. Coping is no longer needed. Strength has replaced it. Archangel Michael ensures that old escape routes remain unattractive. Returning to them would weaken structure. Structure must remain intact. The sealing that occurred means certain doors are permanently closed. Closure is not loss, it is direction finalized. Final direction removes anxiety of choice. Fewer choices increase.